New England Patriots fans needed to hear this news. Let's talk about it. My name is Aaron on the daily Patriots content. Don't miss out. All you got to do is subscribe, hit the notification bell, and hit the like button. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the opportunity of a lifetime. The Patriots are selling. There we go, Aaron. Jeez, long day. Selling a small minority ownership in the Patriots organization. I am thinking this, if we all band together and we all drop in just a few $1,000, $10,000, $100,000, we could all own a small chunk of the New England Patriots. If you like that idea, boom, you got to hit the like button as well, because listen, it's a great opportunity. We can all be investors. We all have a small 0.00001% ownership in the New England Patriots. Move of the century. We got to do it. Comment below. Would love to hear you. But that's not what we're talking about today. But today, some news that I think everyone's going to like to hear, because I think originally going into training camp, I think we assumed a lot of starters, especially on the defensive end, and especially when it came to defensive, the edge rushers. We thought Harold Landry III, and we thought Keion White. Now we know that Keion, as I call him, KC, has taken that starting role, and he's in my mind, he's really ran away from it. He's done very well. Again, I continue to think he is trying to prove people, hey, I was worth that first round pick. He did last year. He did well for the Raiders, and now he is showing us that he can do well. And in my opinion, worth an extension if he continues to do well. But the other player in question that we have been talking about is Keion White. And here's what's interesting. I think a lot of people have suggested Keion White is more of an interior defensive presence. And I think we saw that last year, where he has shown that he can play, obviously, defensive tackle, but he's not great when he's playing that like 9 technique, like a linebacker. It's just not his forte. He is a traditional defensive end. And that's fine. That is totally fine. But the great news is linebackers coach Mike Smith came out and said, listen, I'm glad he's back, because he's going to be a big part of what we do. We have a lot of depth there right now, and with him out a couple weeks, it's tough because we want to keep these guys fresh and all these different things. And then he says this right here, and this is big. You don't just throw this word around, but he says, I see Keion as a starter. Even though he's not starting out there with KC or Harold Landry, last week was just trying to get him in, get his legs back in there, and all these different things. He's definitely got a special gift rushing inside as well. So as we talked about. So again, Mike Smith, the outside linebackers coach, sees a spot for Keion White and can be a huge part of this defense. So I, for one, will say, I was very down on Keion White when he lost the starting job. I saw a lot of potential in him. But again, as a coach like Mike Smith, Mike Vrabel, they need to figure out where they can put players to put them in the best position to succeed. And I think that is what they are going to do with Keion White. Again, we know Keion White has potential. He does. He for sure does. And it's refreshing to hear news like this, that he has the potential to be a starter. I see him as a starter, as Coach Smith said. So I love to see that. I think that is huge for this Patriots team. Again, last year, defensively, edge rush was rough. It was bad. And now it is a good problem to have, where you say, listen, we're not having a lot of depth there right now, or we're not having a lot of depth there right now. And with him in a couple weeks, it's tough because they want to keep these guys fresh. So again, knowing that even last year, there was no depth. There was nothing. Matthew Judon, gone. And then it's literally like, hey, we got Keion White. And so when it comes down to it, it's good to hear this. It's refreshing, as I said, to hear this about Keion White. Believing in him, third-year player, love to see it. Also, obviously, I love the Keion Landry combo on the edge. I think that will only continue to get better. I'm excited to watch that. But what are your thoughts on Keion White? What do you think the coaches are going to do to get him in there more in some more snaps? We know he's coming off an illness. So what are our thoughts? Again, very possible he gets on the inside more. Very possible that they figure out schemes on the defensive line where they can get him in more because, again, as Smith said, he's a talented player. So what are your thoughts? Would love to hear from you on Keion White. Comment below right now. As well, we got to talk about not ideal news on the offensive line front, but Jared Wilson not trending in the right direction. He had a ankle and knee injury in the Week 3 loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Gosh, I hate saying that. But what's nice is you have Ben Brown backing up. Again, if you forget Ben Brown, a great pickup last year for the Patriots. One of the few pickups that literally panned out in my mind. Listen, guys and gals, do sports games get boring when the score is just a complete blowout? Well, I'll tell you this, make it more exciting by sprinkling in DraftKings. I've just teamed up with DraftKings and we have an awesome offer for you. New customers, all you have to do is bet $5. $1, $2, $3, $4, $5. Get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Plus, get $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Come on, what's there not to like? All you have to do is use promo code STP. Again, I'll repeat it and maybe a little slower. STP. If you're a new customer, betting $5, $200 instantly in bonus bets. Again, $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket. What is there not to love? So don't miss out. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. More information in the description below. Obviously, he's a backup. He's depth. They liked him a lot. He can play center or guard. And for the most part, he did well. He did well. So again, I'm not, though I want Wilson in there. It's nice knowing we have a little more depth this year, definitely more this year than we did last year. So that is comforting to know. So we'll see if Jared Wilson ends up practicing on Friday and moving forward. You can hope that he does, but again, I think it's the same situation as Christian Gonzalez. Do the Patriots want to push him into a position where he's not close to 100% and trying to get him in there to play, and then they just make things worse? Again, I would lean towards being cautious. And so again, Ben Brown, he's played, he started, he has that experience. I'm not necessarily worried. Though I would prefer Jared Wilson in there. So tell me your thoughts on that whole situation. What are you thinking going into this game against the Panthers, specifically at left guard with Jared Wilson? Drop it below. And last but not least, got to drop this in there just because I think a lot of people have still just kind of like, well, where's Stefon Diggs been? What's going on? And he was quoted the other day saying like he's not worried about the amount of targets he's gotten. Again, the media tries to paint Stefon Diggs, and they tried to over the summer, as someone who's spoiled, who's toxic, and all these different things. And I truly, as you read more about him and see more of him, I just don't see that as the case. Again, he is going to get he's going to have a breakout game coming down the road. I feel like it's inevitable. And so I see that coming for him. And I love the fact that he's a leader, able to put his pride to the side, humble himself and say, listen, I'm not worried about that right now. And then he comes out and says they should be 3-0 right now, which I respect. Again, things are shifting in New England. Sure, they're 1-2. Sure, it's not ideal. But again, they had opportunities against the Raiders. If they played like they did against the Dolphins, they would have beat the Raiders. If they played like they did against the Dolphins, they would have beat the Steelers. Shoot, they almost beat the Steelers in reality with all those turnovers. And so he's not wrong. He is not wrong. And I don't mind him vocalizing that because, again, I think that opens up people's eyes on that team as well as fans' eyes and say, yeah, he has a point. And I think a lot of people are trending in a direction of doom and gloom when I don't think that's the case. Again, there's a good stretch where there's a lot of potential wins on the table, and I think the Patriots have every opportunity to take those. Again, they win this next game, they go 2-2, and I mean, you never know. You never know. So comment below. Tell me what you think about Stefon Diggs' comments. Again, I don't want to forget, because I don't want you to miss this opportunity. If you want to join me and be part of ownership, you're like, Aaron, you're an idiot. That's fine. I don't care. I'm just trying to be funny. But anyways, comment below. Tell me what you think about any of these things. Would love to hear from you. Excited for the game on Sunday. Excited for Thursday Night Football as well. Enjoy it. You guys rock. Have a great rest of the night. We'll talk later. Peace.